Welcome and thank you for being here. My name is Jorge Salas and I have been leading expeditions in Papua New Guinea for over 2 decades. I know your time is valuable, so I'm going to try to go as fast as possible, but still give you all the details of this fascinating expedition. As you can see, it's a 14-day expedition with a maximum of 16 participants, and it's always in August because we organize it to include the Mount Hagen Sing-Sing, the biggest tribal gathering and event in the planet. But before we get into the details of the expedition, I want to show you some of the inclusions. There's many more. You can download the expedition booklet, which is extremely complete, but of course, airport transfers, all meals except in two, but because it works with itinerary, water, pre-departure materials that are award-winning, senior leader, best hotels that exist, most of the tips, it's all there. And why Papua New Guinea? People ask me which is my favorite destination, and Papua New Guinea is always on the top of the list because it's the most diverse and impressive one. Now, the biodiversity is tremendous. They have 38 of the 45 birds of paradise in the world. And imagine, of the 6,000 languages that exist in the planet, 800 exist in Papua New Guinea. This is just to give you an idea of the cultural diversity. And also, it's a true trip to Stone Age. It's not that everybody lives in Stone Age in Papua New Guinea, but they do follow a lot of the traditions of that era today. Imagine the Lihi brothers found 1 million inhabitants in the early 1930s in the highlands of Papua New Guinea, living in Stone Age. So this can give you an idea of the type of destination. It's a true trip to the past. So, first, where is Papua New Guinea? It's up north of Australia. Getting there is actually quite easy. From the US, normally there's one layover, usually in Sydney, Cairns, or Brisbane. And there's also the option to fly through Fiji, Singapore, and other hubs. So it all begins with your arrival to Port Moresby, the capital of Papua New Guinea. As soon as you arrive, we'll be there. We pick you up, and in first-class vehicles, we transfer you to the Airways Hotel, by far the best one in the country, 5-star, great food, wonderful rooms, everything works. And then you rest, and sometime around 2:30 on day one, 2:30 p.m. on day one, we go to the National Museum, which is a great showcase of the cultural diversity of Papua New Guinea. Then we return to the hotel, you rest a bit more, and sometime around 6 or 6:30, we have a very complete pre-departure briefing with a cocktail, of course, and then follow with dinner, with wine, of course, a great dinner. Then we go to bed, we wake up in the morning, and we take first a commercial flight of about an hour to Mount Hagen, and then immediately we connect with a private charter flight to fly over the mountains and down to the Sepik Basin, which is a tropical rainforest. Amazing flight. And once we land, we take a jet boat and we get to this wonderful boat, the Sepik Spirit. The Sepik Spirit, it's a very unique ship. It was designed in the shape of a spirit house of the area. It's an old ship, but everything works, and it's quite comfortable, beautiful woodwork, simple but comfortable rooms, air conditioning, wonderful staff, very good food. It's actually, of course, don't expect hardcore luxury by any means, and sometimes a couple of things fail, but the staff really works to make this work fantastically, been using it for decades, and people love it. On board the Sepik Spirit and using the jet boats that it has, we navigate very deep up the Sepik River basin and to the remote tributaries looking for the Crocodile Men and women, that they scarificate their bodies to resemble their totem, which is a crocodile. And they have these wonderful spirit houses where they keep the spirits of their ancestors. We will travel deep, as I said, and we're going to be looking these spirit houses. Very few are left, and we will meet these people. And by the way, we're going to be on board the Sepik Spirit for 3 nights doing this. And tribal art is also fantastic, and you will be able to purchase tribal art if you are interested. After the 3 nights on the Sepik, we move to Karawari Lodge, also in the tropical rainforest. It's a beautiful hotel, also designed as a spirit house, full of tribal art. It's a beautiful lodge, but it's a basic one. No air conditioning, it's warm, we have mosquito nets, but the area is fantastic and the lodge is beautiful. You can see it's over a cliff that provides amazing views. Look at that sunset. And from there, we're going to visit the local villages. We're going to see the sago plants, beautiful people. It is in this area that until 60 years ago, cannibalism was still practiced. Don't worry, it's an old practice, it's not on anymore. And also we're going to learn about the Kamongabi spirit, which is very important for them, and we will talk about that when we are there. At the end of the night, the locals, they receive very few tourists, so they get really excited, and the whole village, there's one that is very close, they come and they greet us and they play their music, which is a lot of fun, it's very active, so it's a great experience, and it's a show for them and for us. And it is in the Sepik area and also in the Karawari area where we will be doing some birding. Some iconic species are to be seen there. Not a lot of specimens, to be honest, but I wanted to show that it is in this area, especially in the Karawari area. I know this trunk the 12-wired bird of paradise normally displays. And we are normally successful every year. We see it from the distance, so my photo is not superb, but we see it, and that's quite unique. Then after our time in the tropical rainforest, we take another wonderful charter flight. You can see there the VIP lounge of the airport, and we fly from the jungle up the mountains and we land in Tari in the southern highlands. Once we get there, we drive for about 40 minutes to get to Ambua Lodge, which is simply beautiful. Some of the most beautiful gardens that I have seen anywhere. And it is on a cloud forest that overlooks the Tari Valley. It's a simple but beautiful place, good food, everything works, beautiful views. I really love this place. And there we will stay for 3 nights. How does a normal day work when we are in Ambua Lodge? In the morning, we wake up, coffee, cookies, tea, and then we drive up. Of course, this is optional. And we drive up to the Tari Gap, 10 minutes, 15-minute drive, and we go for birding. Beautiful trails. We have several species of birds of paradise, and it is in this area that we have very high chances of finding the King of Saxony, that unique bird that you see there, and it has a unique call, and that's why it's my favorite bird of paradise. Then after that, we return to the lodge, we enjoy breakfast, we take the vehicles, and we drive down the valley to meet the Huli Wigmen, which is the tribe of the area. This, we are going to see several of their traditions, visit the females' houses, the men's houses, the wig schools, see the spirit dances, their music. They are an extremely interesting culture that believe in sorcery. It's a very ancient culture that it's not to be missed. And of course, the highlight of these visits are the Sing-Sing of the Hulis. And you can see the beautiful, I think, very nice photos of this group before the Sing-Sing. And then after that, we normally return to the lodge, Ambua Lodge. We enjoy lunch, time to freshen up, relax a little bit, charge batteries, and then we go on nature walks. There are amazing nature walks around Ambua. Lots of birds of paradise in the area, several species, I mean. There's also an orchid garden that I know that a friend has. We go to look for endemic orchids, and also we have gatherings with locals for open question sessions. Their culture is so different to ours that these sessions are true highlights of the expedition. After the 3 nights, we take another charter flight, now over the highlands, and we fly to Mount Hagen. As soon as we land, we drive 40 minutes, good paved road, most of it, to get to Rondon Ridge, the best lodge by far of the expedition. The rooms are extremely ample. They look like apartments, like flats. They're huge. Also overlooking the valley below. At night, the views are beautiful. And it's surrounded by a beautiful cloud forest. And normally when we arrive, we go for a walk looking for orchids and some bird species. Also, birds of paradise are possible in the area. We have dinner and then we go to bed. And the next morning, this bird watching, it's fantastic. We go to Kumul, where I have some friends. And after some years, they finally placed this feeding bed. And we have several birds of paradise and other species coming to the feeders, including the ribbon-tailed Astrapia, the one with the long ribbon tail, as you can see there, and many other species. This is a wonderful morning. We have breakfast there, and then we drive to the city, and we go to a ladies' communal place where they do a Sing-Sing for us, and we can speak with them and see their cultural practices. We also stop in the main town of Mount Hagen to see it and see the market, and then we drive for about 25 minutes to get to a village where the mudmen, the impressive mudmen, have relocated, because they are from another area from Papua New Guinea, but a group has relocated here, which makes much easier to get in contact with this fascinating culture. and the photos that they can provide are amazing. And then we return to the lodge, we go for a nature hike, we watch a documentary about the first contact in Papua New Guinea, which is amazing, and then dinner, we go to bed, and the next morning, big day, one of my favorites, the pre-Sing-Sing. You see, the Mount Hagen Sing-Sing is the biggest tribal gathering anywhere, and it's full of people, tons of people. So sometimes taking photos, it's a little bit difficult. You have people in the background that are not part of the Sing-Sing, and it can be very long and overwhelming. So some time ago, we decided with the lodge owners, why would we not invite the most iconic clans and tribes to spend the night close to the lodge, and we take care of the food and share with them, and it has been working. So we invite several of the clans to stay around, and the pre-Sing-Sing day, in the morning, we just wake up and we walk for about, 5 minutes to get to where the pre-Sing-Sing is going to happen, and we find them preparing themselves from the Sing-Sing, taking their feathers out, their headdresses, painting themselves, decorating themselves. It's fantastic. We can walk around them, take fantastic photographs, and after that, they start parading into the showgrounds. And of course, NPE guests have first row seats, and they start parading and they start taking their place in the showground. It's beautiful, the music, everybody's playing different. It's really something else. And then we take a little break. We walk 5 minutes back to the hotel. We have a wonderful lunch. You can use your rooms, charge batteries, memory cards. We go back to the showgrounds, and that's when they open the mumu, which is where they cook the food for the tribes. It's normally pork. Pork is very important in the highland culture, and cow, sweet potato, and they cook it underground, and if you want, you can try. And then it is after that we can mingle with these groups, and of course, this quality of photographs are possible there. Amazing photographs, it's a lot of fun, and tourists and locals and the clans that are performing, we all mingle, integrate, we have fun, and it's fantastic. And it's a beautiful day. And then we do a nature walk, or we stay at the lodge, we have dinner, go to bed, and the next morning, the big day, the big Sing-Sing, the Mount Hagen Sing-Sing. And this is not for tourists, again. This is for locals. So you have the governor there, the authorities, all the people from Mount Hagen and from other places. They come to see these performers, the street vendors, the food that they sell, the smells, the color, the drums, and the locals want their faces painted by their favorite groups and clans. So it's truly a local party. And then, of course, they prepare themselves, and just like the pre-Sing-Sing, they parade into the showgrounds, and I'm talking about massive amount of people. You can see it here. And then after they all take their places in the showground, we get to mingle with them. And it is overwhelming, the colors, the sounds again. And here are some of the photos of last year, actually. All of these photos are just from last year, by the way. We never know how many clans are going to participate, sometimes 60, sometimes 100, sometimes 120, but it's always massive. It's simply amazing. And after the Sing-Sing, we go to the airport and take a very short flight back to Port Moresby, and then our car takes us 5-minute transfer, the Airways Hotel, where we arrive in time for dinner. This is the dinner that is not included, because normally we just gather for a sandwich or a pizza, or some just go and have room service. We go to bed, and the next morning we have a drive-through city tour of Port Moresby. We drive outside of the Parliament House, of course, built resembling a spirit house. We go to the Stilts village and the fishing village. We visit the market. We go to a supermarket also, and then we end this tour at the Nature Park. Normally at NPE we don't do zoos, but these ones, they provide a good service. Some displaced species, they are rescued here. And of course, we have seen at this point a lot of species in the wild, but Papua New Guinea is big, the number of ecosystems is tremendous, the diversity is tremendous, so it's a great way of seeing everything that, for a matter of luck, we were not able to see in the wild. Then we return to the hotel, we prepare our bags, we get together for a farewell cocktail and dinner, lots of sharing all the wonderful memories that we have. The next morning, we transfer you to the airport. We stay there with you until your flight departs, and then you go back home with wonderful memories of Papua New Guinea. So a very brief recap. First, you have one night in Port Moresby in the 5-star hotel. Then we go for 4 nights to the tropical rainforest of the Sepik Basin, 3 on board the Sepik Spirit, 1 at the basic Karawari Lodge, then charter private flight to the Tari Cloud Forest for bird watching at the Tari Gap at the lodge grounds, and also to meet the Huli Wigmen. Then we fly to Mount Hagen to do nature walks, orchids in the wild, birds of paradise, mudmen, pre-Sing-Sing, and the Mount Hagen Sing-Sing. Then we come back to Port Moresby 2 nights to enjoy the city of Port Moresby, to learn about the capital. Now, this is the second to last slide. I just want to say that you can see here the comments of past guests, but I want to tell you that Papua New Guinea tourism is hardly an industry. Not everything goes as planned, but I've been going there for well over 2 decades, and everybody that goes, they say that it was the best and the most interesting trip of their lives, and that they want to go back. Papua New Guinea is a true trip to the past, and I really hope that you enjoy it before it is lost. It is something that needs to be seen now, and I really hope that you join me. This is our last slide. Here you can download a very complete expedition booklet that has beautiful photos and all the details. And also, if you have questions, you can call us or email us. And we have put these 2 QR codes that you can scan right now to download the expedition booklet. And also, you can schedule a call with me. I'm the leader, and I will be more than glad to give you a private briefing or answer your questions directly. It has been an honor. I really look forward to exploring Papua New Guinea with you very soon. It is one of the most, if not the most impressive destination of the planet, and I really hope to see you there. Thank you so much for your time. It has been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you.